In November 2022, ChatGPT arrived, and almost overnight, artificial intelligence went from something discussed mainly inside technology companies to something millions of ordinary people could actually use. At first, we asked it questions. Then we started asking it to write emails, create images, analyze documents, generate codes, and make presentations. And today, artificial intelligence agents are being designed to complete entire workflows without human involvement. For businesses, the promise was irresistible. Why employ a large team for repetitive work if artificial intelligence could complete much of that work faster, operate 24 hours a day, and potentially cost a fraction of the price? And companies did respond accordingly. AI became one of the biggest investment stories in the world. Businesses pushed employees to adopt AI. Technology companies poured billions and billions into infrastructure. And at the same time, companies started restructuring workforces as they redirected money towards automation and AI. But now something interesting is happening. Some of the companies that aggressively encouraged AI adoption are discovering something new. They're discovering that AI isn't always as cheap as they expected. So today we need to answer 4 questions. Number 1, why are corporate AI bills suddenly becoming so large? Number 2, what exactly is token maxing and why were employees encouraged to do it? Number 3, can AI actually become more expensive than the humans it was supposed to replace? And most importantly, number 4, could rising AI costs change the future of jobs? Hello and welcome, you're watching the Karan Chronicles, and this is my take on the hidden cost of AI and whether the AI revolution is becoming too expensive for the companies to sustain. The economic argument for AI was simple. Software doesn't need a salary. It doesn't need holidays. It can theoretically work around the clock. And one AI system can assist thousands of people simultaneously. So companies naturally looked at AI as a productivity machine. Give one software engineer an AI coding assistant, and perhaps the engineer could produce significantly more. Give customer service employees AI tools, and perhaps fewer employees could handle more customer requests. Automate repetitive administrative tasks, and businesses could theoretically reduce costs even further. You see, the thing is, there is evidence that AI tools can genuinely increase productivity in certain situations. So the AI productivity story is not fake. But productivity is half the equation. The other half is cost. And that's where the things are getting complicated. Whenever you use an advanced AI model, somewhere behind the friendly chat interface, there is a meter running. That meter is measured using tokens. Think of tokens as small pieces of information being processed by an AI model. The longer your instructions, the larger your documents, the longer the AI responds, and more work an AI agent performs, and more tokens and computing resources are consumed. A simple question might be inexpensive, but an AI coding agent working through thousands of lines of code is different. It may read files, generate code, test that code, discover an error, analyze the error, rewrite the code, and repeat the same cycle multiple times. Suddenly, that one task isn't one interaction with AI. It can become hundreds of interactions happening behind the scenes, and you don't even know that. And this creates a fascinating paradox. Individual AI tokens can become cheaper while the total AI bill becomes larger. Reuters reported in June 2026 that token prices have generally been falling, but the businesses are still seeing rising business costs because complex AI agents consume more context, take more steps, and perform far more computation per task. And that takes us to one of Silicon Valley's strangest trends. For the last few years, many companies haven't simply allowed employees to use AI, they actively encouraged them. In some workplaces, high AI usage became almost like a productivity badge. Teams created leaderboards, employees compared consumption, and the philosophy became, If AI makes you productive, then use more AI. As simple as that. This became known as token maxing. Amazon employees reportedly joked about token max. Meta employees experimented with the AI usage leaderboards, and Uber encouraged adoption internally. The logic makes sense. If spending $100 on an AI help an employee create $1,000 of additional value, spend that $100. But what happens when nobody really knows whether that $100 created $1,000 of value or just 50? That's where finance departments start getting nervous. Let me give you an example. Uber reportedly exhausted its entire 2026 budget for AI coding tools in just 4 months and was forced to put limits on usage. Also, Microsoft reportedly began canceling many different Claude code licenses and moving engineers towards its own GitHub Copilot CLI after internal usage became extremely expensive for them. Suddenly, the conversation changed. It was no longer how much AI can be used. It became how much AI can we afford. And remember, AI doesn't magically exist in the cloud. The cloud is physical. Massive data centers, GPUs, transformers, electricity, cooling systems, land, water, networking infrastructure, all of this has to be built and financed. And as AI demand has exploded, infrastructure has become one of the largest investment races in modern history. Again, I'm quoting Reuters here that reported that Goldman Sachs expected major technology companies to spend more than $6 trillion on AI infrastructure through 2030. At the same time, projects are facing permitting problems, community opposition, power constraints, and financing risks. In the first quarter of 2026 alone, at least 75 US data centers projected worth around $130 billion faced local community opposition. So every time we casually ask an AI agent to quote unquote try again, there is an enormous industry machinery behind that request. And someone eventually has to pay for it. This leads to the most surprising question. Could employing a human actually become cheaper? In some areas, probably not. If an AI system can generate basic code or process millions of pieces of information quickly, humans simply cannot compete with that scale. But when AI agents perform long, complicated tasks, the economics becomes much less obvious. Gartner estimates that by 2028, AI coding costs could exceed the salary of the average software developer if current usage pattern continues. NVIDIA executive Brian Catanzara has also said that for his team, compute costs already exceed employee costs. That doesn't mean company will suddenly throw away their AI infrastructure and rehire everybody they had fired. It means companies are beginning to understand that the equation is not that of human expensive and AI cheap. The real equation is what combination of humans and AI produces the most value for the lowest total cost. And that's a completely different question. I think the next stage of AI adoption won't be about using the most powerful AI model for everything. It will be about using the cheapest model capable of completing the job correctly. We are already seeing this happen. Businesses are experimenting with smaller models, open source systems, and routing technology that automatically sends simpler tasks to the cheaper AI models while reserving the expensive models for the difficult set of problems. In other words, the AI industry may be entering its efficiency phase. You see, the first phase was use AI everywhere for everything. The second phase could become prove that using AI could actually save money. And in the other jobs, AI may be becoming something very different, not the employee's replacement, but employee's tool. So here is my take. AI isn't failing and humans haven't suddenly defeated artificial intelligence. But what's happening is far more interesting. For the first time ever, businesses are beginning to put AI through the same test they put every employee, every department, and every opportunity of investment. What value are you actually creating compared to what you cost? For the last few years, companies were obsessed with AI capability. Can it write? Can it code? Can it create videos? Can it replace this task and whatnot? But the big question will be not about its capability, it will be about economics. Should AI perform this task? And ironically, after years of asking whether AI will become capable enough to replace human beings, human employees, businesses may increasingly find themselves asking another question. Is AI cheap enough to replace humans? And the answer to this question may determine the next chapter of both artificial intelligence and the future of work.